Hey guys, it's Kusi. Welcome home to the 6th episode of trying to blame the niche of the class for my own failure. In this 0 to hero, OBLITERATING. In the last episode, we progressed towards a juicy vault while also attempting our first plus 10 that went quite well, and then another one that, well, didn't. But we will dive into that plus 10 ruby life pools in this one, yet we also continue the way of vault stacking, as this week doesn't seem too crisp for doing 10s due to bolstering. So the mission is clear, we get more upgrades. Get 3 out of 3 myth items from the vault, and then also get another, probably our last crafted item for this series, that was a giga upgrade. As well as that mentioned vault, as we prep everything in order to attack plus 10 keys with the coming reset. So, if that sounds like an episode you would like to pick Alistair in the game of League just to hear
"You can't milk those!"
then make sure to hit the like button, and if you're new here, make sure to milk that subscribe button, as it really helps me out and you will not miss another upload. And without any further ado, make sure to grab a drink, get comfy, and enjoy the 6th episode of Dwarven's Diary. Alright, so even though we all had a good laugh at the end of the last video, there's a difference. As you laughed of joy, I laughed to hide the pain. But what happened? Our comp was great. Us not pulling the big one to get it bolstered was great. I cancelled as many tectonic slams as I could. Awesome. But then came the final boss. The first boss. We did quite fine until the first wave of ads spawned. You see, usually tanks go towards the spawning whelplings in order to get aggro pretty quick, while the boss is channeling anyways. This one didn't. And so your boy ripped aggro and got spooned. But we have a CR, so this is... never mind.
Oh, he did!
Healer down. I repeat, healer down. So let's go again. This time we handled the webs a lot better, but we had an afflicted go off, which is most likely why our demon hunter couldn't heal himself anymore. And yeah, that's that. Now then, this means we are handed another plus 9, which I lowered to 8, and we go again. And this one felt so much cleaner. I don't know if it's just the pressure of doing a plus 10 that got to me, but in this one, I just let loose, man. Damage not too bad either, even though I can't compete with a red. Shaman is roughly 10 item level ahead though. I did the plus 10 a few days ago at the point of recording, and at this point I was a lot more chill and calm when playing. Hence why I do decent damage on every pull now, even with only pillar up. I also feel like I've gotten quite alright when it comes to cooldown management, because often I'm using my big 2-man cooldowns so far in advance that they are up on bosses again.
Oh really?
Hashtag progress. This is also the first Ruby where I didn't mess up on the last boss and just railed both Stormvane and this lizard to the best of my possibilities, which led to me competing with the paladin for a hot minute. Unfortunately, after we timed the key, the tank pulled out some boots that let's just say mine are about 20 item level behind, so I would have liked those, but I didn't see it when I was playing. Unlucky.
That sucks.
Now then, from this Ruby we gotten ourselves a plus 10 Alderman on Tyrannical Week, with bolstering and healer shortage due to afflicted. Let's do the 8. And I was feeling myself here. Good damage right from the get-go, and even Bromak, which was the boss we started on, couldn't annoy me. I pumped, gripped the Geomancers into the party, and then I died to the most basic ability he has. Wait, what? Ah, shit. Yes, you may wake me up from a dirt nap, but you will never get the dirt nap out of me.
Wait a minute!
What? Anyways, we marched back towards the Dwarven trio, as apparently no one had cooldowns ready here, hence why the demon hunter was pumping and we weren't. I still enjoy this boss fight. Besides those 2 mechanics that could one-shot you if hit, it's a really cool fight. Well, for melee. I'm sure it's a pain for casters in here. On the third boss, I learned that I'm still ass to time my Frostwyrm's Fury into the last second of the pillar window, even with this big ass weak aura telling me when to do it. So I really feels like I'm on a certain crit haste threshold that playing this spec is a lot more fluent and smooth. As we all agree, trash this week is just fodder, so we continue to Ember on, as a few funny things happened here. First, the healer called out where to meet and P2, which is actually pretty smart. Less smart was taking the boss in the middle of the room, as it gets really stacked and also leaves less room to move when he's going into the mentioned second phase. And as we were running around, I tried my death call onto one of those ghosts, and as you can see, nothing happened. I appreciate you guys' comment about DK being able to heal the ghost, but come on, in no world should I use 4 or 5 globals when some healers just one-tap spank its cheeks to heal it up. And because we moved around so much, I was certain our tank did it again, but turns out it was the transition towards the second phase again, that I just completely ignored. Yet the actual rough part happened on the final boss. First, our hunter pulled the 2 big mobs that one usually skips, as his pets weren't as sneaky. He said it's the first time that happened. Yeah, it's also the first time I died to a dumb mechanic like on Amberon, brother. But be that as it may, We pulled the final boss with Bloodlust and the positioning that I didn't see since season 1 or 2 or something. And because we were so sloppy with the space we had, we covered half the room pretty quickly, which ultimately gave us less and less room to play. What also didn't help was Afflicted going off more often than once. Somehow they two-manned it into the end, and the healer mentioned after the fight that he wasn't on full mana, as I just said that we should have started on the corner in order to get more room, which then prompted the lovely Holy Paladin to drop some mean knowledge. It awfully sounds like a football term, but even though I'm quite a fan, I never heard of that line in my life. Ah well, disregarding that rather laggy boss fight, this run wasn't too bad, and so I was still horny for more.
You naughty.
We got a Dragonflight key from this, which took me a hot minute to assemble, which gives me a moment for some disgusting self-plug. Hoi! Let me quickly remind you that we are on the road to 10k subscribers on the YouTube, and if we manage to achieve that goal, we will have a 24-hour stream of Torment with a face cam and a potential Pink Panther onesie.
Oh my god, I love it! I love it!
You heard me. So if you watched this so far without subscribing, I mean, come on, do the magic, make it happen. Also join the Discord for future stuff in the War Within. Now back to the video. Dragonflight, a key I love or hate depending on the week. Such a pain to play and fortified, as trash just randomly hurts everybody but the tank, but so cool to play on Tyrannical. And I already got such a nice feeling when the tank doesn't insist on doing the extra big lust pull with bugs. I just really enjoy the pack sizes that Bracken brings and how easy they are managed when the trash isn't enhanced. Paired with the occasional nuke of my cooldowns to just, careful now, obliterate the enemy. Get it?
No?
Never mind. After taking care of the 5 bamboo cages, it's time for the first boss, and boy was I ready. I like this boss so much, especially now where I just got AoE on default. Now, am I able to compete with a Destro Lock and Frost Mages here that have half their Big Bang abilities hit 2 targets? No. Did I still manage to compete with them? No. Was I nuking the shit out of the pack after the boss? Absolutely.
Damn!
And this is also such a change compared to last week's Bracken run. This tank did some big pulls too, but not chaining them. Just do one pull and wait till it's done. So much more enjoyable to play for sure. This is also my favorite. The mage spiking one of the mobs for probably around 1 mil damage, just to rip aggro and then ping the mob. You better run, fool. On Tree Mouth I was quite happy that I was able to snipe so much blob damage, so I was able to compete with the lock for the majority of the fight. Until there were no more blobs to snipe from and I fell down. We started Gutshot a bit too quick however, as my cooldowns weren't ready yet, so I had to pull out a comeback at the second half of the fight. I'm really digging Frost Decay lately, man. Yet we ended the key on a rather comfy +2 for 29 rating, and the +10 key I was certain of doing. A Zuvok baby, another one.
Another one.
But I can tell you this, I did not find anyone to play this key. I got a mage and sat in queue with him for like 10 to 15 minutes, and absolutely no one else wanted to apply. Maybe that is the downside for not having to play a +10 for a weekly vault, so people avoid just bolstering. And with that, I took a deep breath, wiped a tier or 2 away and lowered the key to 8. Surely we will get another one of those in the future. In this one, we had triple pre-mates applying in form of the tank, heal and the mage, and then we got a special guest. Was it the one with the most gear?
No?
The highest score?
No?
But he was the best spec. Survivor baby. 520 item level, I was horny to see what he can cook in here. Yet pretty early on, I had a weird revelation. I was the pumper. And me, being absolutely secure about my own abilities as a gamer, came to the obvious conclusion, the others suck dick. But we need to look at ourselves to improve. So that's what I did. Playing mechanics and ensuring my own survival when using multiple death cooldowns when we had the trees up, while our mage didn't pay as much attention. But I was only worried when I ended up leading the charts after the first boss, even though I probably was just busy blob sniping again. And we all know what happens when the Kusla gets too cocky. While I was walking back, like the little mindless muppet that I am, I was so confused why they were still fighting considering it's tyrannical. Also, why the hell am I so slow? Take it off of me! Yet I wasn't the only DK in this party that goofed every now and then, as our tank got finger blasted Kakashi style, which had me whip out the quickest CR EU West just to die of threat. Life is rough in here, man. Also, don't be like me. Don't release here. It's stupid. Don't do it. Second boss, again, started with a bang. The way the mage tried to greet his cast before trying to avoid had me giggling. I'd do the same, man. But because we now have no CRs left, it meant that we had to play this entire fight as a 4-man, and as you would expect, it took a minute. Almost 4 minutes to be exact. Not too good, but the overall dungeon timer still looks pretty strong. Towards Grey Ring, we didn't encounter any issues, yet the boss itself was, well, not really optimal. The tank didn't move quick enough with the boss after the frost bombs, which led to us melee not always having uptime. I didn't like that one bit, yet still an easy kill and a pretty decent bomb placement overall, since we had plenty of room every time Absolute Zero came around. 9 minutes for the final boss, this should be easy. Bruh. Okay, what happened? First I died cause my old ass eyes didn't see the orb coming onto me.
Here's Johnny!
Then we failed to nuke the most important target, the hardened scale. I for one assumed that it has to be one of the 3 cluster shards, totally not because I wanted to boost damage. Turns out it wasn't.
Hello there.
Second pull, we had our hunter dying on the first set of balls, which is no bueno, considering every time those shards spawn, it's a race. So we legit wiped twice, which meant we barely had 4 minutes left to get it done. I kept reminding myself to keep all my cooldowns for the shard window, as this simply is the most important part, even though it lowers my overall. So first shards, I just used all my dragons to get rid of them. I only had pillar for the second, but this time I was at the right target. Also make sure to always pop a death cooldown whenever the shards are up. They hit like hell. On the final shards I also only had pillar to spare. Fortunately, Glacier Spike takes half of its HP. And so we eventually still timed this run, even though the end was very scuffed, leading to the survival beating me in overall, which is fair considering I had to run back to the party twice. Got a cloak upgrade, so that's something. I said GG, wished everybody good luck in the vault, and then proceeded to do the final dungeon of my weekly vault grind, Halls of Infusion. And this one is nice, since that's a dungeon I didn't get to time on 8 before in the last episode. So let's go. And because the first boss is rather boring most of the time, let's go to Frog Race, where I got too greedy on damage. So instead of using my Frostworm's Fury at the last second of pillar for maximal potential, I waited a second too late to snipe some frog damage. Man, I'm so bad. Yet all that sniping was worth it, almost 300k at the end. They call me the Snipe Meister.
Stop it. Get some help.
On the third boss, arguably the one that brings the most pain to our average puck group, we had Bloodlust back up. And boy, did this chick get railed. Respectfully. If the tank would have pulled the boss towards the solid ice blocks, every DPS would have ended the fight with over 200k. Yeah, that's right, I blamed the tank, so what?
Whoa, calm down, Jamal.
But I do have one funny thing on the final boss. I'm not sure why, but I almost died to his little swirlies, as I, for one, could absolutely not tell if there's one below me. I mean, you even barely see it when you focus on it. Not sure why this shitty ass particle is cucking itself here, but I don't like it. Absolutely nuked my entire cooldown window as I just run around to stay alive. Not a fan. Yet we ultimately ended the key on the +2, which only gave me 8 score for some reason, and with that, we have an entire Mythic item vault upcoming. And just because you're still here and because I love you long time, let's peek at the vault, see what we get. Also make sure to comment sick vault down below so I know you're a real one. And without any further ado, here's the juice. Quite a shitty vault to be fair. I decided to go for the trinket and I can hear you say,
What? What is this? For what? Why?
and let me explain. I don't need the ring, as Verse is pretty ass and I need crit on him. So I went for the highest trinket in order to upgrade more of my current trinkets with only flight stones. I don't need the Worm Crest either. Also, I was already set on crafting myself a new ring since it's a 40 item level upgrade after all. So that's what I did. And so we end the 6th episode with an item level of 512, a score of 2131 and no excuses. It's time to bring it home, so in the next episode we attack as many +10 keys as we can. But for now, I hope you have the most fantastic day whenever you see this. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care.